From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Friday morning. We're still tracking multiple fires across the region. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start off by talking about this Williams mine fire that's burning in the Gifford-Pinchot National Forest. It's just to the south of Mount Adams in southwestern Yakima County. This started burning in Skamania County. It's also prompting evacuations for Skamania County, also for Klickitat County. So far, no evacuations for Yakima County, but look at this thing. It is burning all over the place and it is still 0% contained. Now on to the other fire that's burning in Yakima County. This would be the Retreat fire. Containment on this one still at 64%, and still the bulk of the active hotspots are to the north of U.S. Highway 12. Still multiple level 3 evacuations in place for this one, and a level 1 evacuation in place for the Titan and Cowiche area. You can find all of these evacuations, all sorts of information about each of these fires listed online at applevalleyNewsNow.com. Got this update last night. The Lone Rock fire is now 98% contained. So we are oh so close to being absolutely donezo talking about this fire. Then for the Battle Mountain Complex, this consists of 2 fires. The NF Owen fire, which is just a measly, just shy of 5,000 acres, but the Monkey Creek fire closing in on 180,000 acres, but it's also closing in on 50% containment. There are also multiple evacuations with this complex of fires as well, level 3s, level 2s, and level 1s. You can also find all of these listed online at applevalleyNewsNow.com. And I'll show you what all the fires are doing to our air quality this morning. That's going to be coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, a fire breaking out at a Pasco business last night with multiple agencies responding. The simple advice officials are giving to the public that can help save lives.
And power companies are required to have policies in place when it comes to wildfire mitigation. Puget Sound Energy held a meeting last night talking about what they've been working on. We hear from representatives coming up.
Plus, it's been 79 years since the U.S. atomic bombing of the city of Nagasaki before the end of World War II. We have where you can pay your respects locally today. Good Morning Northwest starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Jill Sperling. It is Friday, August 9th. We've made it to the end of the week.
We have finally made it.
Yes.
And it's one of my favorite national days today. We can talk about that later on. You know what it is.
Yes, I'm excited to talk about it with you.
We're going to talk about our favorite you know what later. Or you don't know what. We'll tell you later. Well, we're going to start off in fire news this morning. Local fire crews from around the Tri-Cities responded to a Pasco business last night after a fire broke out.
The fire happened at IWI Garage Door and Paint Division on West A Street. The call for help came in just before 8 p.m. Flames and water damaged the inside and outside of the building.
Pasco Battalion Chief Michael Mayer says one of the obstacles that firefighters had to face were the people at the scene.
We'll have a bunch of people who like to come and look at the scene. Unfortunately, that clogs up the roadways and makes it more difficult for our fire crews to get here. So we appreciate that people want to be involved with their community and see what's going on. But if they can allow us access in and out if needed, that would be helpful.
No one was hurt, and the cause of the fire is under investigation.
Agencies from Richland, Kennewick, and Pasco were among those that responded.
Fire crews are staying vigilant as we continue through wildfire season. Now, this is a vegetation fire that started just off of Pearl Street in Pasco yesterday afternoon.
Fire agencies were able to put it out quickly, but the weather conditions remain high risk for fires. And staying in that same topic, power companies are required to have policies in place to prepare for and respond to wildfires.
Apple Valley News Now's Emily Goodell attended a community meeting Wednesday night at the Roslyn Library to hear from Puget Sound Energy representatives about their plan to try to reduce the risk of catastrophic wildfires.
Puget Sound Energy has identified Kittitas County as an area that's at high risk for wildfire, and they've been working to make sure they don't contribute to that risk.
They've been sending out crews to clear out surrounding vegetation that could fall on power lines and spark a fire. The next line of defense, enhanced power line settings.
It just makes our lines super sensitive. If something hits the line, causes a fault, it'll turn off that section of the circuit, and then we'll need crews to actually go out there and inspect those lines in person before we turn it back on.
But in the event of strong winds, very dry vegetation, and low humidity in a high-risk area, they have another option, a public safety power shutoff.
It's essentially turning off select high-risk lines during extreme wildfire conditions, just to prevent any risk of our lines creating more risk for wildfire.
Customers notified 2 days in advance.
Via call, text, or an email based on your account preferences.
If the shutoff is long enough, they'll set up a community resource center nearby.
So customers have a place to go, get information, can get, a bottle of water, be able to charge.
It's an option they haven't used so far, but they're prepared to do so if necessary.
I'm just wondering who makes the call.
There's kind of a chain of command where essentially it's the VP of operations who will make the final call. But that's informed by, a cascade of inputs,
including an in-house meteorologist, boots on the ground, and system operations.
Measure of last resort, we don't want to be using this tool, but it is a tool in our toolbox if we see those risks are high.
PSE asking anyone who relies on a medical device like a ventilator that requires power to operate to call 1-888-225-5773 to add life support status to their account.
We want to know where you're at. We want to make sure your customer account is flagged so we can, you can be the first round of calls we make in advance of a PSPS. And we can direct you to resources.
If there is an active wildfire happening nearby, Puget Sound Energy does have a reactive de-energization policy that would allow them to shut down the power lines at the request of emergency officials. Reporting from the Yakima newsroom, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.
Pacific Power has responded to a letter sent by Yakima County commissioners regarding their concerns about the impact of emergency de-energizations.
The company has been turning off power to any assets near an active wildfire to avoid potentially making the fires worse. Commissioners say it's happened at least 9 times so far in Yakima County and asked the company to include more local input in their decisions after some of those situations affected businesses and residents miles away from the fire.
The president of Pacific Power replying with his own letter and meeting personally with commissioners. And in their letter, Pacific Power says they plan to further meet with Yakima County officials to discuss the concerns moving forward.
In Grant County now, a damaged irrigation canal is causing problems for one of the areas in the county.
The break happened August 5th between Road 5 and Road O Northeast. It sent water pouring over several areas and triggered level 2 get-set evacuations.
Officials have drained the irrigation canal and set up dikes to begin repairing the break. When it will be completed is not yet known.
Making a difference now, tears of joy in one of the Superior courtrooms at the Benton County Justice Center yesterday.
It was all part of the Benton and Franklin County's Adult Drug Court program, a program that is uniquely tailored to each participant to guide them through the road to recovery.
And 3 participants are celebrating a graduation from the program, one of them sharing a few words of guidance for others.
If you're not ready, get out now. If you're ready, listen to what they have for you to do. Follow directions, be honest with them. If you're struggling, be honest with them. Be honest with them. Did I mention be honest? Because if you're not honest with them, they're going to find out and they're going to believe that you are not ready to do this.
And at the end of the program, the graduates get to shred their criminal history, and so far 364 participants have graduated from the program. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, new research is showing older adults with type 1 diabetes are living longer. Details coming up in your health headlines.
And first, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your weather forecast. Good Morning Northwest, we'll be right back.
Warning, your air conditioner unit needs service. Would you like me to call Bruce?
Yes, call Bruce.
Thanks to today's modern technology, it's never been easier to call Bruce Heating and Air. When your AC unit needs serviced, call Bruce.
Oh my gosh.
Let's get this party started.
Just make sure you call the right Bruce.
Now through September 30th, receive rebates up to $1,850 off on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Take good care of you, Bruce Heating and Air.
Hey,
Hey, Tri-Cities, it's Eric the Peanut Guy with your Tri-City Dust Devils. Join the fun at Giza Stadium this Friday, August 9th, as we indulge in a family feast night. $2 hot dogs, soft drinks, and more, thanks to the Tri-Cities Airport. Saturday, August 10th, your Dust Devils will play as the Viñeros de Tri-City and end the game with a magnificent fireworks show brought to you by IBEW 112 and NECA. Visit the official ticket site at DustDevilsBaseball.com. Dust Devils Baseball. It will blow you away.
Phones were made to help us connect, yet somehow they've made us less connected. Which is ironic, don't you think? We try to put our phones down, but we need to pick them up to see the menu. We can't watch something without also watching something else.
Ironic.
Ironic. But look, here's a phone company who wants you to use your phone less.
That's ironic.
Yeah, but in a good way. Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
Traffic jam.
Ugh, and I'm already late.
The savings continue with Cascade Farm and Outdoors' latest mailer. Save $20 on a Coleman 4-person Skydome tent, now just $49.99. Save on a Yoli Klamath Easy Lift 10x10 canopy. Purina Layina 40-pound crumble or pellet feed is just $14.99. Plus, spring and summer apparel is up to 50% off. Find our latest mailer online or pick one up in-store today at Cascade Farm and Outdoor. Northwest, homegrown, honest values.
SDCU is pleased to support Apple Valley News Now's Restaurant Showdown.
With more than 5,000 votes, we're down to the final 4 restaurants. Voting starts again Monday, so get ready to tell us who your top 2 favorites are. Thanks to our sponsors, SDCU, Les Schwab Tires, and Whitman Hill Winery.
Hello there, my name is Jim Henson, and I'm a puppeteer.
If Jim was here, I just have to thank him.
Good Morning Northwest streams all day at AppleValleyNewsNow.com and our mobile apps. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's take a little bit of a tour right here on our wildfire smoke map. We're going to start off in Skamania County, in Yakima County, and Klickitat County. This is where we're seeing some very thick smoke from this Williams mine fire that's burning out that way. And also just some, light haze for most spots. It's a little bit thicker in the foothills of the Blue Mountains. Also a little bit thicker immediately downwind of the Retreat fire in Yakima. We've definitely seen some smokier mornings though. So that is, we'll just have to take that win. Unfortunately, the winds are going to shift, and that means that smoke is going to become worse into tomorrow. We're going to go ahead and show you that with our smoke forecast graphic. And for today, winds still gusting out of the north and northeast, and so that means that most of us will continue to have pretty light haze. The thickest of the smoke is getting pushed away from our area. But watch what happens into Saturday as we put this into motion. You see the upper level winds start to drift some of this smoke back our way, and then the surface winds will follow suit, gusting out of the north and west. So that means a lot of thick smoke is set to come back into portions of the Yakima Valley especially, but we could have some pretty thick smoke for portions of the lower Columbia Basin as well. So just know that air quality will probably get worse as we head later and later into the day on Saturday. But for this morning, temperatures mostly in the 60s and 70s actually. So there are maybe some of us who don't even need a light jacket for this morning. A little bit later today, it's going to be hot. We'll be between 95 to 100 for the Tri-Cities, but we do have some cooler weather on the way for next week. I'll tell you just how cool coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Turning to your health headlines now, the CDC says the overall death rate in the U.S. decreased 6% last year. According to data from the CDC, roughly 3.1 million people died in the U.S. last year. For an age-adjusted rate, that breaks down to 750 deaths per every 100,000 people. It was 799 deaths for every 100,000 in 2022. One major reason why the number has fallen since then is fewer COVID-19 related deaths. The top 3 leading causes of death were heart disease, cancer, and unintentional injury, which includes overdoses. And some encouraging news for senior citizens with type 1 diabetes. New research shows that older adults with type 1 diabetes are living longer. With more, here's ABC's News' Christian Cordero.
The life expectancy of older adults with type 1 diabetes increased by 28% between 1990 and 2019. That's according to data published by the British Medical Journal. Type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disease that occurs when the body's immune system destroys the cells in the pancreas that produce insulin. Life expectancy is highest in countries like the United States. High blood glucose remains a major challenge for older people with this condition. Even though illnesses from type 1 diabetes have decreased, men seem to have more complications from this disease compared to women. To prevent type 2 diabetes, it is important to eat healthy foods, stay physically active, manage your blood pressure, and manage your cholesterol levels. With this Medical Minute, I'm Christiane Cordero.
Up next on Good Morning Northwest, Microsoft says the country of Iran is trying to influence the U.S. presidential election. This by creating fake media websites trying to target voters on both sides of the political aisle. We have the details you need to be aware of.
Meet FatBeam Fiber, the fastest growing fiber provider in the West. With over 150,000 fiber miles across 150 cities and 8 states, we offer reliable internet and top-tier service to business, government, healthcare, education, and residential customers. From dedicated internet access to wireless backup, our team ensures 99.99% uptime and superior connectivity. Trust FatBeam Fiber to expand network capabilities and protect your data. Discover more and request a quote at fatbeamfiber.com.
Hi, I'm Catherine Forner, and we love our own backyard so much, we built all of this. With hardwood decking and basalite pavers. And we just finished this deck for one of our best customers. With TimberTech decking and Fortress railing. And we get everything we need from PAR. With Shauna's help.
Everything from design to delivery.
What would we do without you?
PAR, your total home building source since 1930. Go where the builders go.
What are you gonna build?
We want to present a $1,000 check to you for all your hard work that you've been doing. Paul Roberts has been volunteering with Tri-County Partners Habitat for Humanity for about 30 years.
I was watching them on this old house, and they had a little segment on there, and that's what attracted me to it.
Roberts has spent every Saturday swinging his hammer, helping build homes for about 3 decades.
STCU honors volunteers in our community. To nominate someone, click on Volunteers Count at applevalleyNewsNow.com.
We are celebrating a new chapter at Shelby's Floral, and we're now open at our brand new building on Clearwater in Kennewick. For over 49 years, Shelby's Floral has been your homegrown neighbor, bringing joy and beauty to every occasion. And now, we hope you will join us for the grand opening of our new store on Friday, August 16th at 11 a.m. Enjoy a light snack, door prizes, and raffle giveaways as we cut the ribbon and open our doors to a world of floral wonders. Shelby's Floral. Experience the magic of flowers, crafted every day with care and creativity.
Oh, the kids? At your parents'. I ate an hour ago because you completely forgot about the extended anniversary sale at Denver Mattress. And right now, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Get up to $300 off our Doctor's Choice lineup. And check out the Summit Queen. Easy on the wallet for only $349.99. Purchase any Tempur-Pedic and get a $300 gift. Or get 60 months no interest and free shipping. But hurry, the extended anniversary sale at Denver Mattress ends soon.
E.T. and Extra, tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
Extra, extra. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. You're seeing some of that haze up in the sky this morning in Pasco. This view coming courtesy of the Dust Devils, and we will certainly have more haze up in the sky for today. Okay, I'm showing you First Alert radar because all is quiet for now, but that's maybe not necessarily going to be the case a little bit later today. We're going to put this into motion, and you notice as we head into the afternoon hours, maybe in Kittitas County, maybe down into the valley, maybe up in the Cascades, that's where we could see a few showers or thunderstorms. Into the late evening, those should fall off the map, but then once again into tomorrow, you'll notice kind of the same thing into the afternoon. This time, not just in Kittitas County, but also in Yakima County, we'll start to see maybe some showers and thunderstorms popping up, this time becoming a lot more widespread, a lot more potent. Maybe some of these could slip into the lower Columbia Basin and into the foothills and into the Blue Mountains. So we'll be watching very specifically for that fire start potential in Yakima County, Kittitas County, and up into the Cascades. So for today, it's going to be hot. We'll be about 5 degrees above average for this time of the year. Of course, we'll have the pretty light haze and smoke up in the sky. And then for tonight, the haze and the smoke situation is going to stay the same. Overnight lows dropping off into the low to mid 60s, essentially what we're seeing for this morning. So the day-to-day breakdown of thunderstorm chances would be Saturday is definitely going to be the day with the best thunderstorm chances. We'll still have some persistent small thunderstorm chances in a Sunday and Monday. It looks like maybe we'll be a little bit drier and less active into next week. Also, we'll definitely be cooler into next week. Finally, some below average high temperatures for a change. It's not fall-like, but it's not what we're dealing with for this week. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. It'll be hot and hazy for today, a small thunderstorm chance for Saturday, and looking much cooler by Tuesday. Then for Yakima, we'll have smoke increasing into Saturday with winds switching up out of the north and west. Thunderstorm chances will also be going up for Saturday, but we will be trending cooler for next week. For Hermiston, we'll be hot and hazy for Friday, a small thunderstorm chance for Saturday. And how about some mid-80s by next week? And then for Walla Walla, a thunderstorm chance for Saturday, maybe another small thunderstorm chance for Monday, and we'll have a relief from the heat, which will be in store for next week.
Thank you, Josh. We turn to consumer news now, and the question being asked is, could human beings be relying on computers for companionship? It's a concern being raised by OpenAI. The artificial intelligence research organization issued a safety report yesterday. The report says the human-sounding voice on ChatGPT is so realistic that some people may develop relationships with it. So ChatGPT's advanced voice mode responds in real time. It also makes adjustments when interrupted and can determine a person's emotional state by voice tone. Officials at OpenAI say they've observed people expressing shared bonds with ChatGPT. And Delta is lashing out a CrowdStrike over the tech outage that led to a massive service meltdown, which stranded thousands of passengers. A lawyer for Delta is saying the apology that CrowdStrike issued is, quote, vastly inadequate. In a letter sent to CrowdStrike's attorneys yesterday, Delta's lawyer said the tech company was negligent and solely responsible for the outage. On the other side, CrowdStrike and Microsoft have claimed Delta took longer to recover than its competitors because the airline refused their help and did not modernize its IT systems. However, Delta said that outage lasted so long because of the airline's reliance on CrowdStrike and Microsoft. And Delta said the cancellations will cost it $500 million, mostly due to reimbursements it had to pay customers. And the outage caused Delta to cancel 7,000 flights between July 19th and 24th. In more consumer news, a consumer alert, Microsoft says Iran is trying to influence the U.S. presidential election. According to Microsoft, Iranian operatives are creating fake news websites to target voters on both sides of the political spectrum. Allegedly, one of the sites describes itself as a, quote, trusted source for conservative news in Savannah, Georgia. Another allegedly insults former President Donald Trump, attempting to bait liberal voters. Microsoft says the fake websites have not gained much traction on social media, but the company does say that could change as the election draws nearer. Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, actress Michelle Pfeiffer is heading to the small screen, and it'll be exciting news for fans of the show Yellowstone. Details are coming up in your entertainment headlines.
Welcome to the Walla Walla Airport, where you'll experience enhanced convenience. Your gateway to adventure has expanded its security checkpoint and upgraded the departure area for your comfort. With free parking and daily Alaska Airline flights to Seattle, your travel plans are easier than ever. Whether you're off to relax or to explore, start your journey smoothly with our improved facilities. Create unforgettable memories today. Book now at alaskaair.com. Your next adventure is just a flight away at Walla Walla Regional Airport, where parking is always free.
Hey, Tri-Cities! It's Eric the Peanut Guy with your Tri-City Dust Devils. Join the fun at Giza Stadium this Friday, August 9th, as we indulge in a family feast night. $2 hot dogs, soft drinks, and more, thanks to the Tri-Cities Airport. Saturday, August 10th, your Dust Devils will play as the Viñeros de Tri-City and end the game with a magnificent fireworks show brought to you by IBEW 112 and NICA. Visit the official ticket site at DustDevilsBaseball.com. Dust Devils Baseball. It will blow you away.
Usually when people knock on your doors, they're trying to sell you something, but we're actually here to give you money.
DSAMA is this month's winner of Volunteers Count.
We have fosters throughout the Tri-Cities. We have about 50 total. And so my home is usually the home where all the animals come in to sort of do, our intakes.
STCU honors volunteers in our community. To nominate someone, click on Volunteers Count at AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
Summer in our area usually means great weather.
Hot days and warm evenings are the norm.
But every so often, a storm moves in with dangerous wind, lightning, and rain.
Count on Apple Valley News Now First Alert Weather to warn you in advance of coming storms.
With First Alert Weather, we're helping you plan ahead, so you'll be ready when the weather gets a little crazy. Stacey Lee evenings, Josh Colberth mornings. We're Apple Valley News Now. First Alert Weather, on your side.
On your side.
Always on your side.
So what do you think about these?
We're going to take everything.
From design and products to removal and installation, Rebath is with you through every step of your remodel. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,000 off your complete bathroom remodel.
Next live, guest co-host comedian Jimmy Mullen and Broadway's Michael Urie.
I'm not a dancer.
You're a dancer.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
Good Morning Northwest streams all day at AppleValleyNewsNow.com and our mobile apps.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In entertainment news, country music star Jason Aldean is bringing a bit of Nashville to Vegas.
He announced a partnership with TC Restaurant Group to open Jason Aldean's Kitchen and Bar on the Las Vegas Strip. The two-story venue will feature Southern comfort food, yum, memorabilia, and live music.
Jason Aldean's Kitchen and Bar will open on the Strip this fall. This will be its fourth location, following locations in Nashville, Pittsburgh, and in Dolly territory, Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
Well, moving from musicians to actresses, Michelle Pfeiffer is heading to the small screen.
Yes, the actress will star in and be the executive producer for a spin-off of the show Yellowstone. It'll be called Madison.
According to officials, the series will follow a New York City family in central Montana.
Madison is the most recent addition to the television franchise from actor-writer Taylor Sheridan. A release date for the series has not been announced, but Yellowstone is scheduled to return on November 10th.
Check this out now. So the Perseid meteor shower shows up in the night sky every summer, and it's expected to peak this weekend.
According to NASA, the best time to see the meteor shower is Sunday night through Monday morning. You'll likely get a good view of it the night before and after as well.
But here's the key. You need to be somewhere dark, away from city lights, and you got to check the weather forecast to see if clouds will be in your way or smoke. And you got to make sure to dress for those conditions.
So make sure you watch Josh's forecast.
Yeah, that's right. Conditions probably warm.
Yeah. And now a national day that I'm excited to share about. It's National Book Lovers Day. Woohoo!
Yeah, well, you can mark the day by starting a book club, visiting a library or used bookstore, reading to a child, or start writing that book you've always wanted to write.
Also, be sure to check out your local library, like the Mid-Columbia Library's branches, for celebrations like read-alongs, book swaps, and author talks.
And you can even post your love of the written word with the social media hashtag National Book Lovers Day. Okay, question for you both. What is the last book you read or are currently reading?
You're gonna be.
I'm gonna judge you guys. Just kidding.
Oh,
you're gonna judge me, actually.
You're gonna judge me. I haven't read a book since high school.
Oh no. Okay. You know what? You're too busy reading the weather forecast. Yeah. Keeping us updated. So it's okay. You get a pass.
Okay.
Well, I've been really into memoirs lately. The last one that I read was Matthew Perry's memoir, Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing.
Did you like it? Did you cry?
It was sad just because he has passed away.
Yeah.
So that was sad. He had a lot of life lessons in there, and it was good.
Okay. So I love fantasy books, romantic books, and sci-fi books. So I'm starting one called Red Rising Saga. There's 6 books out right now. I'm really excited to read that, but I'm still in another fantasy book right now that I'm halfway done. I started it 2 days ago, so it's almost done. It's the sequel to The Serpent and Wings of Night. No one knows what I'm talking about, but I just had to say that.
You're just devouring those books.
I'm just excited.
Yes. That's awesome.
We're coming up next on Good Morning Northwest at 5:30, a behind-the-scenes look at local first responders during active shooting training. We hear from officers about the differences between last year and this year.
Plus, the latest results from the Washington primary. We look at the races most affecting our region. We'll be right back with the next half hour right after this. But first, here are your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Apple's new AI feature may come at a cost. Analysts say Apple may charge up to $20 for its Apple Intelligence features, including an enhanced Siri and automatic email generation. The service could be part of the Apple One subscription plan. Next, Instagram just doubled the limit for carousel posts. Users can now share up to 20 photos or videos in a single post. That is compared to the previous 10. The change brings Instagram closer to TikTok's limit of 35 photos per post. Finally, ChatGPT now lets free users create pictures. You can create 2 visuals per day using DALL-E 3, which turns text descriptions into images. The feature is rolling out gradually and will soon be available to all users. It was previously exclusive to paying subscribers. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Lactate is 100% real milk, just without the lactose. Delicious, too. Just ask my old friend Kevin.
Nothing like enjoying a cold one while watching the game. Who's winning?
No idea. Real milk, real delicious. And don't forget to try some delicious, creamy Lactate ice cream. What's that, Mabel?
Wow. Smart cow.
I thought I was sleeping okay, but I was waking up so tired. Then I tried new ZzzQuil Sleep Nasal Strips. Their 4-point lift design opens my nose for maximum airflow, so I breathe better.
And we both sleep better and stay married.
Better days start with ZzzQuil Nights.
Rise, 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 and thrive.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
I'm Jill Sperling.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
Happy weekend, guys.
It's almost the weekend.
It's almost the weekend.
So close. Is it going to be a hot weekend?
Yes.
Not too bad though, right? Like not hundreds, 90s?
Upper 90s, and it's going to be a little smokier, and there are going to be some thunderstorm chances, especially for Saturday. So sorry to bring down the weekend vibes, but into next week.
You can't bring down my vibes.
Okay, but into next week, the weather vibes are going to be up as the temperatures are going down. Right now, you're taking a live look at Kennewick, at least half of Kennewick, as our camera's having a little bit of a moment here, but you can see some haze up in the sky, and it's going to be more of that a little bit later today. Okay, temperatures as you're headed out the front door for this morning, they are mostly in the 60s and 70s, although we are seeing some 50s in portions of the Kittitas Valley, so that's maybe where you would want a very light jacket. A little bit later today, we're still going to be about 5 degrees above average for this time of the year. Most of us ending up in the 90s. Also, there will be a little chance of a thunderstorm today in the Kittitas Valley and in the Cascades. So here's the bottom line for the forecast moving ahead. Haze will mostly be then today, but the winds are going to shift tomorrow, so the haze and the smoke will become much worse into Saturday, especially in the Yakima Valley. Thunderstorm chances, of course, returning for today, peaking into tomorrow. But on the other side of that will be much cooler in the next week. But back to the fire start potential with some of these thunderstorms in the forecast for today. I'll show you how dry our vegetation is for today, and that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Starting this half hour in Kennewick, local first responders are hosting their annual active shooting training.
Apple Valley News Now's Monique Ledesma got to follow along, and she reports that there are some differences in the training from last year.
When it comes to keeping people safe in our schools, the Kennewick School District says coordination between agencies is key.
We're going to have the Kennewick Police Department, the Kennewick Fire Department, and now, especially at our elementary schools, we're going to have our school safety officers here, and it's bringing them all together.
Scott Child is a safety and security coordinator for the Kennewick School District. He says this kind of training is what ultimately ends up saving lives.
We have multiple scenarios that we go through so they can test the equipment, they can test our tactics, and ultimately make it safer in the event that a tragedy happens. It'll make it much safer, many more lives that we can save by having a coordinated response such as this.
Kennewick Police Department Sergeant Michael Rosane says it's the practice that helps limit the kind of mistakes that can be made in a high-stress, last-minute decision-making situation like an active shooter.
Training often keeps our skills sharp. Like you said, the communication, the running through it, so when the real event occurs, it is a smooth event that we go through with minimal any kind of mistakes or anything like that.
Sergeant Rosane says it's training like this that help the most when the real situation comes.
Working all together like that as a team, we're able to prepare ourselves again for in case this unfortunate incident were to occur in our community.
Child says although they do this training every year, it's never the same.
We use different schools. We have different scenarios, and so we try to rotate between the different types of schools. Last year was a middle school, and so this is an elementary school. It's got a little bit different. The kids are much different here. We've got school safety officers, whereas they have school resource officers at the other school. So every year we come up with a different twist.
Although the active shooting training is a once-a-year event, Child says the Kennewick School District throughout the year continues to bring in police and fire department officials to do walkthroughs in the school to familiarize themselves with the school layout. In the end, it's all about making sure everyone gets home safe. Reporting in Kennewick for Good Morning Northwest, Monique Ledesma.
Sergeant Rosane says law enforcement is also working on reunification training and how to help families in a time of crisis during these events.
We go now to a follow-up on a story we've been tracking since June. The father of a Moscow man charged with kidnapping his child and taking her to Mexico has also been indicted on federal charges.
Court documents filed Thursday show James Ong was indicted on charges of conspiracy to commit international parental kidnapping. The indictment claims James Ong conspired with his son Aaron to remove Aaron's daughter from the country instead of handing her over to her mother.
According to the indictment, James Ong's Cadillac was used as part of the kidnapping. Federal prosecutors say James Ong also assisted his son in avoiding law enforcement detention.
Aaron Ong faced a federal judge on the kidnapping charges yesterday. He pleaded not guilty and waived his right to a detention hearing. James Ong is scheduled to appear in court this morning.
Now to your current results for the statewide primary election. In the race for Washington governor, as of right now, the top two candidates we'll be seeing on the November ballot are Bob Ferguson and Dave Reichert. Ferguson is at 45% and Reichert at 28%.
Now let's take a look at the Attorney General's race. Pete Serrano is leading with 42%. Nick Brown has 36%. And to the congressional 4th District race, where it looks like it will be Jared Sessler facing off against incumbent Representative Dan Newhouse on the November ballot.
And in the race for Washington's U.S. Senator, we've got the top two as incumbent Maria Cantwell with 58% and Dr. Raul Garcia with 22%. Again, the top two will face off in the November election.
If you'd like to see more results, head over to our website, applevalleyNewsNow.com.
All you need to do is click on the top bar where it says election results, and you can find all the updates there.
Well, it has been 79 years since the U.S. atomic bombing of the city of Nagasaki, Japan, before the end of World War II.
A ceremony was held at the Nagasaki Peace Park, and the ceremony was somewhat overshadowed by the American ambassador's absence in response to the city mayor's refusal to invite Israel. Mayor Shiro Suzuki called for leaders of the nuclear weapons states and those under their umbrella to shift their policy toward abolishing nuclear weapons.
The atomic bomb dropped by the United States on Nagasaki on August 9th, 1945, killed 70,000 people 3 days after the first bombing on Hiroshima killed 140,000 and nearly destroyed the city. Japan surrendered on August 15th, ending World War II.
The Manhattan Project facilities at Hanford produced the plutonium used in the Fat Man bomb. Tonight, the Manhattan Project National Historical Park will pay respect to the victims during a 1-hour Lights for Peace program. It's happening at 8 p.m. at the Fingernail Stage in Howard Amon Park.
The program will feature the Mid-Columbia Master Singers, a guest speaker, and an opportunity to ring a peace bell. People can also walk along a path lit with luminarias featuring messages of peace.
A group of volunteers is working to make a difference in our community today.
A crew of more than 30 volunteers from Hayden Homes and Simplicity by Hayden Homes will be at the Friends of Disabled Veterans Ranch property near Prosser this morning. They'll be building trails for a sensory garden, providing maintenance at the archery range, and giving a $10,000 gift. The ranch is a 140-acre property where veterans and their families can enjoy the outdoors while transitioning back to civilian life.
The Hayden Homes team will be putting in more than 45 total volunteer hours as they build paths for the sensory garden, which can be used by veterans who have lost sight or their visually impaired family members. And this is all happening between 8:30 and 10:30 this morning.
The city of Pasco has put out a call for participants in its pepper eating contest during the Fiery Food Festival.
Not me. The annual event includes various activities, bands, and of course, food. And also, the pepper eating contest is free.
Well, sign me up. Participants will eat various peppers, increasing in heat. Organizers say only those with a stomach of steel will make it to the end.
They have, I think, 60 seconds or so to eat the pepper completely. Except for the stem, and then those who make it through move on to the next pepper.
The sign-up link can be found on any of the Pasco City social media pages, and the festival takes place September 14th from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. at Peanuts Park. Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, we take a look at the latest on the tropical depression Debbie.
But first, Josh will have what you can expect in your weather forecast this weekend. We'll be right back.
Boating, fishing, and good times. Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
The Y Card, a powerful resource for former Hanford and DOE employees. If you worked in the area and have come down with cancer, lung disease, Parkinson's, or renal failure, you may be eligible for financial compensation and healthcare services. A simple phone call can get the process started. Atomic Home Health. Don't wait. Call today.
Meet Fat Beam Fiber, the fastest growing fiber provider in the West. With over 150,000 fiber miles across 150 cities and 8 states, we offer reliable internet and top-tier service to business, government, healthcare, education, and residential customers. From dedicated internet access to wireless backup, our team ensures 99.99% uptime and superior connectivity. Trust Fat Beam Fiber to expand network capabilities and protect your data. Discover more and request a quote at fatbeamfiber.com.
Taking the time to savor Thomas's crunchy yet soft bagels.
Thanks, Tom.
It's Tom, actually.
Right, Tom.
Tom. You doing that on purpose?
Tam.
Tam. How have we got to Tam? Huzzah! A toast to breakfast.
The Make It Ford Summer Sales Event is on. Amazing offers and a great selection of the best-selling trucks in America for 47 years. Ford F-Series, gas, hybrid, or all-electric. These are the deals you've been waiting for. So don't wait. Make it Ford. Make it yours. Make it now. Lease a 2024 F-150 STX Super Crew for just $399 a month. Only at your local Ford dealer.
Whoa, is this your new Nissan Rogue?
Yeah, crazy story.
Yesterday, I was at the Nissan End of Summer Sales event taking a test drive, and Laura says,
"We've got somewhere to be."
And off we went. We're having a blast. And she tells me it's recommended by Consumer Reports.
These Rogues are going fast.
I knew I had to have that Rogue.
Get 0% financing for 36 months or get up to $2,500 total savings on remaining select 2024 Rogue Platinum trims.
Poor maintenance, old tires, bad brakes, that could be why the big truck hit you. At my law firm, we have a team that knows big truck wrecks. Big truck insurance companies know that we have the knowledge and experience to get you paid everything you deserve. Call the heavy hitter. When I call the insurance companies, they listen. Hit by a big truck, I know how to be their insurance companies. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
The heavy hitter is the one for you. Call 853-2222.
Hello there, my name is Jim Henson, and I'm a puppeteer.
If Jim was here, I just have to thank him.
Hey, good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
You don't just see it, you feel it.
I'm in. I'm in. I'm in.
I'm in too. I am in. I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'll be here.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's take you on a bit of a temperature tour this morning as we're in the 50s and 60s for the most part right now in Kittitas County, already up to 72 degrees in Vantage. Down in the Yakima Valley, we're seeing temperatures exclusively in the 60s. 62 for Union Gap, 61 for Yakima, 63 degrees for Toppenish. And then for the lower Columbia Basin, also 60s and 70s, actually. 70 for Benton City, 72 for Hanford, 70 for Umatilla, 67 for Tri-Cities. So very comfortable in this region. And then for the Blue Mountains, we're seeing 50s and 60s. Much cooler, though, in the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains proper, with 40s and 50s for places like Meacham and Ukiah. Okay, here is your CoatCast today for the Tri-Cities, and I'm thinking that, well, some of us in the lower Columbia Basin already don't even need a jacket for this morning, but certainly by 8 a.m. and beyond that, it's just going to be t-shirt weather, as we'll have another hot one, and that means that our vegetation is going to be pretty dry. So here's today's vegetation dryness, and keep in mind that the 100th percentile would be the driest fuels on records. We're going to be up into the 88th percentile today for Kittitas and Yakima counties, and remember, there is a chance for some thunderstorms today in the Kittitas Valley, also in the Cascades. So there will be that threat for a fire start. The lower Columbia Basin, still pretty dry stuff, up into the 86th percentile, up into the 89th percentile for the Blue Mountains. And we'll be just about as dry for tomorrow, but thunderstorm chances, unfortunately, are going up. I'll time those out with future casts coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. An environmental group is warning the public about the potential impact of large cruise ships by company Cruisilla. A study by European clean energy lobby group Transport and Environment found that the largest passenger ships today are twice as large as they were in 2000, and it's warning about the possible environmental impact. The report says if the growth trend continues, the biggest cruise ships in the year 2050 could be nearly 8 times larger than the Titanic. However, cruise industry trade group Cruise Lines International Association takes issue with the report, saying cruise lines have cut emissions by 16% on average per ship over the past 5 years. Now to more on Tropical Depression Debbie. It is threatening the East Coast today and bringing the risk of catastrophic flooding and tornadoes. Forecasters say after starting today around Virginia, it could be through Maine by tomorrow morning. In states further south, some homeowners face severe flood damage. Others are picking up the pieces after Debbie brought tornadoes. Debbie's death toll has risen to 7 people. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, Smokey Bear is celebrating his birthday today, so let's celebrate by being careful and not starting any wildfires. When we come back, we'll tell you how old the beloved bear is turning, and we've also got all of your top headlines. Keep it here for the Morning Sprint.
The savings continue with Cascade Farm and Outdoors' latest mailer. Save $20 on a Coleman 4-person Skydome tent, now just $49.99. Save on a Yoli Klamath Easy Lift 10x10 canopy. Purina Layina 40-pound crumble or pellet feed is just $14.99. Plus, spring and summer apparel is up to 50% off. Find our latest mailer online or pick one up in store today at Cascade Farm and Outdoor. Northwest, homegrown, honest values.
Are you suffering from stomach pain, a sprained ankle, or does your child have cold or flu-like symptoms? When sudden illness or minor injuries occur, Astria Rapid Care is here for you. Our providers can see you right away with no appointment necessary. Astria Rapid Care is the place for minor emergencies, sprains, cuts, and more, with convenient locations in Prosser, Sunnyside, and Toppenish. Astria Health, exceptional rural health care close to home.
The murders of a husband and wife found dead inside their home.
There were wild revelations.
Brandon's secret life.
Now, the powerful prison interview.
Why should we believe you?
2020, tonight on ABC.
An awesome flight over a lakeside community in northern Idaho.
We have the beautiful lake right here, the bike trail, amazing businesses.
Harrison.
We have some of the most beautiful sunsets you'll ever see in your lifetime.
Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News now at 6 Tuesday.
I feel like I'm one step closer to love.
Monday.
Hello, Seattle.
In this Emerald City.
We have so much to talk about. Oh, do we?
Bachelor Nation is sending them down the yellow brick road to love.
Have fun!
And when things get wicked.
He doesn't know me, and he just blurts out that he loves me.
She's blowing off steam.
I owe it to myself to get to the bottom of this. Hello. Hey.
new Bachelorette, Monday on ABC and stream on Hulu.
At a time when misinformation is all too common on social media, we take great pride in bringing you the news that matters, that impacts your family, news you can trust. Local broadcast journalists bring you the facts, covering the stories breaking in our community and across the globe. Text TV to 52886 and let Congress know you depend on local journalism. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Stacy Lee, KapKView First Alert Weather. Watch tonight. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Right now you're taking a live look at the Yakima Valley atop the Tandem Ridge, and it is definitely hazy out there for this morning, but we have seen hazier and smokier mornings since the retreat fire first started. Okay, let's go ahead and show you futurecast. For now, we just have a few clouds up in the sky, but clouds will be picking up a little bit later in the day, and you'll notice as we head into the afternoon and evening, we'll start to see at least the chance of some showers and thunderstorms popping up into the Kittitas Valley, also into the Cascades. Looks like that'll mostly fizzle out by the time we get into the late evening. Now, this model is picking up on some additional showers and thunderstorms for Yakima County. We'll see about that. But into Saturday, watch, we kind of go through the same exact cycle again. This is around lunchtime. Showers and thunderstorms start to pop up, but this time it looks like they're going to be much more widespread, but still the best ingredients are going to exist in the Cascades, in the Kittitas Valley, and in the Yakima Valley. But some of these could certainly make their way down into the lower Columbia Basin, also into the foothills and into the Blue Mountains. So we will be watching for that fire start potential very, very close. Okay, for today, temperatures are going to be a few degrees, more like 5 degrees above average for this time of the year. Most of us ending up in the 90s. We'll have plenty of haze and smoke up in the sky. Should be pretty light, though. And then for tonight, the haze and the smoke situation stays the same. Overnight lows dropping off into the low to mid 60s. So essentially what we're dealing with for this morning. Okay, so again, Saturday is going to be the day that'll be most favorable for thunderstorm chances. We'll have small thunderstorm chances persisting into Sunday and Monday, but it does look like next week is going to be a lot calmer, also a lot cooler. Finally, some below average temperatures for Tuesday and beyond. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Be hot and hazy for today, a small thunderstorm chance for Saturday, and then much cooler by Tuesday. For Yakima, smoke increasing into Saturday with the wind shifting out of the north and west. Thunderstorm chances also going up on Saturday, but we do trend cooler for next week. For Hermiston, we'll be hot and hazy for Friday, a small thunderstorm chance for Saturday, and how about some mid-80s by next week? And then for Walla Walla, also that thunderstorm chance for tomorrow, maybe a small thunderstorm chance for Monday as well, and then we'll have some relief from the heat into next week.
Now, the morning sprint.
The time is 5:51. It's time to get to your morning sprint in our 5 o'clock hour.
We're going to take you right to our 6 o'clock hour, but first up, here are the top 5 local things you need to know this morning. Fire officials are asking people to give them space when a fire breaks out. This after a fire at IWI Garage Doors and Paint Division in Pasco last night. Flames and water damaged the inside of and outside of the building. No one was hurt, but Pasco's battalion chief says one of the obstacles firefighters had to face was people coming to look at the scene.
Puget Sound Energy has identified Kittitas County as an area of high risk for wildfires, and they're taking steps to prepare. This includes sending out crews to clear surrounding vegetation that could fall on power lines and spark a fire. Also, in the event of strong winds, very dry vegetation, and low humidity, they have another option, which is a public safety power shutoff.
Today marks 79 years since the U.S. dropped an atomic bomb on the Japanese city of Nagasaki. Tonight, the Manhattan Project National Historical Park will pay respects to the victims during a 1-hour Lights for Peace program. It's happening at 8 p.m. at the Fingernail Stage in Howard Amon Park. The program will feature the Mid-Columbia Master Singers, a guest speaker, and an opportunity to ring a peace bell.
A crew of more than 30 volunteers from Hayden Homes and Simplicity by Hayden Homes will be at the Friends of Disabled Veterans Ranch property near Prosser this morning. They'll be building trails for Sensory Garden, providing maintenance at the archery range, and giving a $10,000 gift. This is all happening between 8:30 and 10:30 this morning.
The Perseid meteor shower shows up in the night sky every summer, and it's expected to peak this weekend. According to NASA, the best time to see the meteor shower is Sunday night through Monday morning. Now, you'll need to be somewhere dark to get a good view. Check the weather forecast to see if clouds will be in your way, and make sure to dress for conditions.
In your national headlines now, federal authorities are on extra alert for attacks surrounding the upcoming Democratic National Convention in Chicago.
That's according to a threat assessment outlining potential security concerns. The convention starts August 19th and is expected to draw more than 50,000 visitors, including President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. The FBI, the Department of Homeland Security, and other agencies, including local police in Illinois, jointly prepared the report.
It found people in some online communities have threatened, encouraged, or referenced acts of violence in response to the Trump assassination attempt. However, it noted authorities have not identified any specific and credible threats. And we're getting a look at new body cam video of the moment an officer saw former President Trump's shooter just before the shooting began. In the footage on your screen now, the officer climbs up to the roof of a building overlooking the July 13th Trump rally in Butler, Pennsylvania.
The video shows how the officer was hoisted up by his colleague, quickly dropping down after he sees the shooter, Thomas Matthew Crooks. About 40 seconds later, Crooks turned back and fired 8 shots at Trump, who was hit in the ear. Seconds after that, a Secret Service sniper shot and killed Crooks. In your business headlines, BMW is recalling more than 100,000 vehicles, specifically 14 models of crossovers and sedans from 2019 and 2020.
BMW says the starter motor can fail, and when drivers keep trying to start the car, it can overheat the motor, which can cause a fire in the engine compartment.
Now to another recall, this time with Samsung for an issue with some of its stoves. The CPSC said about 1.1 million slide-in electric range units are affected.
If a flammable object is on top of the range, people and pets can start a fire by bumping into the knobs. Samsung says it'll provide free knob locks or covers for the affected products. All right, check this out. Now, here's a story that Josh has been waiting for all week. What is it? It's Smokey Bear's birthday.
Yay.
So Smokey Bear is turning a young 80 years old. He must be getting that bear talks.
Bear talks.
There's my stupid joke for the day.
Well, the beloved fictional bear first appeared on a wildfire prevention poster in August 1944 and quickly became America's symbol for wildfire prevention.
His original message was, "Care will prevent 9 out of 10 forest fires." Now it's the familiar saying, "Only you can prevent wildfire."
That's much catchier.
Well, a year-long celebration of Smokey Bear's 80th birthday kicks off today with an award ceremony honoring wildlife prevention heroes. Josh, are you going to cry?
Tears of happiness.
Maybe, yes. He's so iconic, Smokey Bear. I just remember
really
all
is.
of the ads from way back when, and it takes me right back.
I remember people still saying Smokey the Bear.
I still say Smokey the Bear. I'm trying really hard to just say Smokey Bear.
It was such a controversy when it happened. It was like, his name is Smokey Bear, not Smokey the Bear. But
And like the way that, like if you're doing something kind of nefarious, you think of your parents, like, oh, I shouldn't do that. If you're doing something nefarious with fire, think of Smokey.
Yeah,
what would he
do?
It's his
Josh
birthday.
doesn't
Come
let
on.
us forget it.
Yes.
Yeah, don't start any fires today. Well, coming up in our next hour of Good Morning Northwest, new developments on a story we've been tracking since June. The Moscow man charged with kidnapping his child. Well, his father has now been indicted. Details in our 6 o'clock hour.
And the question surrounding artificial intelligence now is, could human beings be relying too much on computers? Why OpenAI is concerned that people could be developing relationships with the human-sounding voices of AI.
And I'll have another look at that first alert forecast. Also, a roundup of all the fires burning in the region. That's going to be coming up at 6.